Welcome back to Dakar 2011, where it's a day of well-earned rest for the remaining field here at the beautiful coastal town of Arica, Chile. We're halfway through this grueling round-trip odyssey across the South American continent. In stage one, the soaking summer rains left their mark on the Argentine countryside, as Spain's Carlos Sainz in the Volkswagen began his title defense with a victory in the slippery opening stage. One of his primary challengers, 9-time Dakar winner Stefan Petterhansel of France, took second in the BMW, followed by other VW contenders, Nasser Al-Attiyah, last year's runner-up to Sainz, and American Mark Miller, who placed fourth. Another American, Robbie Gordon of NASCAR fame, had trouble from the outset, as his two-wheel drive Hummer was not prepared for the rain. More wet weather caught the drivers by surprise in stage two. Despite faulty windshield wipers, Carlos Sainz was again first, but the Americans had a stormy day. Sainz's teammate, Mark Miller, who finished third last year, suffered a nasty crash that appeared to take him out of serious contention.
Yeah, you know, the accident, my neck it's quite sore. I guess like any car accident, you have whiplash, and I'm a big guy and it'll work out, you know, and after Dakar, I have plenty of time to recover, so we'll worry about that part then.
And while everyone could see Robbie Gordon's fluorescent orange Hummer, Gordon couldn't see a roadside boulder. Tuesday's journey to Huehue gave Nasser Al-Attiyah the chance to make his move on VW teammate Sainz. The Qatari beat El Matador by a mere 25 seconds, with Petterhansel a minute back. Surprisingly, the BMW that Mark Miller had crashed the day before looked like new, and the American rebounded with a strong sixth-place showing, despite running heavier thanks to his new role as parts carrier. As the field headed due north, the other American driver, Robbie Gordon, was going south in the ratings. He was 17th overall after 3 stages. Just across the Chilean border, Gordon was the center of more drama before stage 4 even began. On his way to the start, his car blew a wheel bearing. Eliseo Salazar, driving the second Hummer, should have pulled over to offer a spare. Instead, Salazar apparently didn't notice that Gordon's Dayglow vehicle was maroon. Frustrated, Gordon made an early and angry exit. Dusty, dangerous stage 5 saw Petterhansel come in first down the dramatic final downhill approach overlooking the Pacific in Iquique. Peter the Great's 56th career stage victory shuffled the leaderboard as he leapfrogged Al-Attiyah into second place behind the overall leader Sainz. Navigational challenges got the best of Gerland Schescheret, who ditched his new Mini Countryman, which has otherwise performed impressively in what has been essentially a test run here at Dakar. The final leg before the break was a brutal desert circuit leading to Arica, near the Peruvian border. Carlos Sainz made it 4 stage wins in 6 tries. But just as Petterhansel looked to have closed the gap, his persistent tire problems finally hobbled him. He dropped 12.5 minutes back. Meanwhile, American Mark Miller continues to advance steadily upward in the standings. Rounding out the top 5 is Christoph Holovic, who's been under the radar while running a consistently solid Dakar.
The biggest challenge is the race itself. I think the last 2 days has been really hard for body and physical, and also for the car. But for us, everything is going well so far.
From tomorrow, the rally will start. Because really we push a lot sometime, you know, and yesterday of the stage only 9 seconds different after 456 kilometers. It was amazing.
Through the first week of action, Sainz and his Volkswagen colleagues are holding down 3 of the top spots and 4 of the top 6, now that Mark Miller continues to make his presence felt. We'll check in on the trucks and the quads and take a look ahead at tomorrow's Stage 7 when we come back right after this. trucks, Russian heavyweights Vladimir Shagin and Firdaus Kabarov in the Kamats duked it out over the opening 5 stages. But it was the Tatra of Alish Lepre that pulled off the upset win in Stage 6. At the break, only 21 minutes separate first from third. Last year's Dakar Quad champion Marcos Patronelli was forced to withdraw early on this time around, handing the family business of racing Dakar over to his brother Alejandro. Alejandro has responded with 3 stage wins over Dakar's first week and sits atop the leaderboard after the break. Argentinians in the top 4 spots at this stage of the race. And in the bike overall picture, Mark Coma leads Cyril Dupre, and even with that 10-minute penalty, Cyril Dupre is still within striking distance. It's a virtual dead heat at the top of the car overall standings. Carlos Sainz leads Nasser Al-Attiyah, but you can't count out the 9-time Dakar champ, Stefan Petterhansel.
The first week of non-stop action has provided plenty of questions that will be answered in the coming days as the remaining field finishes in Chile, crosses back into Argentina, and makes its way to the finish in Buenos Aires. But let's see what answers our on-course expert Gernot Bauer can provide in advance of the resumption of the great race. Gernot, what does tomorrow's Stage 7 look like? And coming off this rest day, who might have an advantage?
Yeah, tomorrow's stage will be providing us with a lot of new hazards. Rocky parts, sandy canyons, open stretches where they can give it a go with the bikes. I personally think that maybe riders that we haven't seen so far might be benefiting the most from the rest day. Paul Anders Ole Walseter might be one of those, or the likes of Elder Rodriguez, who already gave it a go yesterday with a 2nd place, and he will be out there really pushing it hard. Who knows, maybe he can challenge Mark Coma and Cyril Dupre, and then local hero Francisca Chaleco Lopez on home soil is a hot candidate for victory as well.
Turning to the cars, Gernot, given the problems that Stefan Petterhansel's faced so far in this race, can he realistically make a run at Sainz and Team VW?
Yes, he can. He only got 12 minutes to cope with. 12 minutes, it seems a lot. But you know, a puncture is considered in Rally Red being between 3 and 4 minutes until you're back to speed. So there's a lot of kilometers left in this rally. So I think Stefan Petterhansel, you just can't rule him out. He's got 9 victories. This is the toughest rally in the world, and Stefan knows it inside out. Stefan Petterhansel will be the one who will be battling Carlos Sainz and Nasser Al-Attiyah.
Gernot Bauer, thank you again, and now go get some rest, buddy. Well, that'll do it for our special recap of Week 1 of this spectacular race. We invite you to join us again as our exclusive same-day coverage resumes tomorrow, right here on Versus, the home of Dakar 2011.